Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got a review for Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, a very fine re-release by Aspyr Media, throwing together two of the best Star Wars games into a single fairly priced package with nary a loot box in sight. While I've got your attention, we've opened our website, check it out, pureplaytv.com. Shameless plug over, let's get on with it. The Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection bundles both original Battlefront games into one neat package. The two are split within a launcher that's as bare bones as it is functional. No added frills. Naturally, I had to go into the original Battlefront first. It was the one that started the saga, after all, and I was curious as to whether the game's iconic loading screen would remain intact, or be left in the past. There's absolutely no reason for it to exist on PS5, the version I played, or the Xbox Series XS consoles, yet Aspyr chose to leave it in. Battlefront 2 on the other hand has no such cool loading screen, and so the game boots into the action in a second or less. I'm actually glad that the developer chose to leave the loading screens in on the original. It might seem strange in a time where we chide any and all loading, but it's a nice little nudge and a wink to those of us who were there at the beginning, so I respect it, and it made for a good first impression that set my expectations for a faithful re-release. A few rounds of instant action and the years were rolling back. I did have to make some tweaks to the game's settings to get the game feeling right, mind you. For one, the stick sensitivity is far too high, and the auto-aim and sticky reticule takes some of the challenge away. But for the most part, this is the same game I neglected my extended family for during Christmas 2004. It's with a fresh lick of paint of course, and now looks super sharp and clean to the eye, and in fairness, the game's original art holds up, even 20 years on, which is kind of incredible. But this is a game of two halves, and the flip side is, by and large, the better of the two. Battlefront 2 expands on the original in all areas, refining the gameplay, throwing more maps at players, bigger battlegrounds, and even space battles. The sequel even introduced playable heroes and villains, both in regular modes and a dedicated heroes vs villains game variant, which is about as cool as you would expect. Though saying that, seeing the sadly underpowered Han Solo and Princess Leia getting ruthlessly stomped by lightsaber-wielding Sith is a bit silly. Battlefront 2, like the original, has also had a fresh coat thrown over it, and like its predecessor, it still stands up today. Of course, neither game would be mistaken for an actual modern release, but the design of these games, which neither chase realism nor high style, works in their favour. Gameplay wise, Battlefront 2 is a lot more refined, and I didn't have to do much tweaking to the controls to get it feeling how it should. What I will say is that Battlefront 2 lacks the stick-click feature to shift between viewpoints. The original Battlefront lets you change between first and third person views by clicking the left stick, keeping you in the action and out of the pause menu. Battlefront 2 sadly doesn't, and if you want to change your view of the battlefield, you're hopping in the menu for the 5 seconds it takes to make the change. A small complaint granted, but I have to find something to complain about. The truth is that there really isn't much to complain about. The Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection is as good a re-release as any fan could want. The core gameplay is there, and even enhanced by adding more on-screen characters, giving battles a greater sense of epic that my 14-year-old self would have bunked off school for. The addition of some new modes is a nice touch too. There's the new Grand Warfare mode that ups the number of on-screen combatants even further. It's a simple mode, to be fair. The first side to 350 kills wins. No need to take over command posts or capture any flags. You can, if you so wish, hunker down in the distance and snipe your way to victory, or rack up enough points to gain the privilege to play as a hero or villain and then stomp your way through crowds of enemies. Then there's the expanded Hero Assault, which takes the regular Heroes Assault and lets you play the mode on all ground maps. A small addition, but another nice touch. The developer did not need to do anything extra to get this package to sell. It would have sold on name and nostalgia alone. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection is a must-play depending on which side of the fence you sit. On the one hand, the games cater heavily to the Star Wars fandom, wrapping a done-before package, it's basically a Battlefield rip-off, in a Star Wars dressing. On the other, it still has to appeal to those who want a decent shooter. It's not going to kick the hardcore competitive players away from their Call of Duty, Fortnite, or whatever shooter is currently hot, but it's a fun way to kill an afternoon, and even better if you can get online with a few mates, or just split the screen with a local play partner. However, it's also a sad reminder of what the series once was, what it became once EA was handed the keys, and what we missed with the cancellation of the third game. Will this re-release reignite the spark? Could it be a new hope? And that is the end of this review. Thank you for watching, it's always appreciated. If you could go one further and do us a solid by hitting the like and subscribe buttons, that would be aces. And don't forget to check out our website, pureplaytv.com. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers my dears.